Hey guys, it's Miss Jamika, and today I'm going to talk to you guys about responsibility. Responsibility is another concept of kindness. We are responsible for so many things in our lives, including ourselves, the spaces we share with other people, how we treat other people, and we are also responsible for our environment. Today, we're going to talk about how to make responsible decisions regarding yourself and the spaces that you share, how your actions directly affect other people. We're also going to talk about how to respond with kindness and make responsible and kind choices. So, what is responsibility? Responsibility is when you can be relied on to do the things that are expected or required of you. It's when you do what you say you are going to do, and when other people can trust you with little things and big things. And you may not think about it much, but every single day we make tons of responsible choices. I was responsible today by remembering to make my bed when I got up in the morning. I fed my dog because without me, she wouldn't be able to eat. And I got up and went to my desk so that I could get my work done on time today. Comment down below and let us know how you were responsible today. A big part of responsibility is having self discipline, and that means that we are in charge of our own behaviors. And that also means that we need to practice how to control our behaviors and our emotions because we make the choices about how to behave. So, I'm going to read you guys a book that I really like. And while I'm reading it, I want you guys to be thinking about how the character was being irresponsible and in what ways he started to be responsible throughout the book. But It's Not My Fault, written by Julia Cook, illustrated by Anita Dufala. My name is Norman David Edwards, but everyone calls me Noodle. Some things happen to me that get me into trouble, but it's not my fault. Things just aren't the way they should be. I feel like everyone's always picking on me. I get blamed and it's not my fault. Seems like I'm the only one that ever gets caught. Yesterday, I didn't get my math homework done. So this morning, my teacher made me stay in from recess and do it. Rats! But it wasn't my fault. Last night, I had to go to my big brother's basketball game, and it went into overtime. And by the time I finally got home, it was too late to do my homework. So my mom made me go to bed. After recess, we all headed to the library to work on our science reports. Since my teacher wouldn't let me go to recess, I had lots of extra energy. I felt kind of twitchy. And on the way down the hall, I jumped up high and tried to touch the light. And on the way down, Marigold got in my airspace and her head hit my arm. Ouch! Teacher, Noodle hit me. But it's not my fault. You didn't let me go out to recess, and my legs just needed to jump. It wasn't my fault. My arm did it. And it was just a little jump. I got sent to the end of the line. Rats. Then, when I got to the library, I couldn't work on my report, the duck-billed platypus, because the media specialist wouldn't let me check out the book that I needed. Noodle, you can't check out a new book until you bring your overdue book back. But it's not my fault. I looked in my backpack this morning as soon as I got to school, but my mom didn't remind me to put it in there. So please, can you bend the rules? Nope. Rats! In PE, Ross Gray tripped me on purpose, and then he laughed at me when I fell down, so I pushed him over. Teacher, Noodle pushed me. But it's not my fault. Ross Gray tripped me on purpose, and that made me feel bad. And then he laughed when I fell, and that made me feel really mad. My hands were so mad that they pushed him, even though my brain told them not to. Things just aren't the way they should be. I feel like everyone's always picking on me. I get blamed, and it's not my fault. Seems like I'm the only one that ever gets caught. Noodle, please stop talking. But it's not my fault. Georgie talked to me first. Noodle, please stop lollygagging. But it's not my fault. I was born this way. Besides, the pencil sharpener needed to be emptied. Noodle, you just interrupted again. But it's not my fault. My mouth is addicted to talking. Noodle, we don't stick our tongue out at other kids. But it's not my fault. TJ did it to me first. Then he stared at me, so I had to do it back at him. Besides, it doesn't say we can't do that in the school handbook. Just as my teacher was about to say noodle for the 50,000th time, the bell rang. Phew! Noodle, my teacher said, please stay after for a minute so we can have a talk. Rats. Noodle, today you had a really rough day. But it's not my fault. Noodle, there are no buts in my sentence. Today you had a really rough day, and tomorrow is a brand new day. I can't wait to see what you can do with your tomorrow. Have a safe walk home. When I walked into my house, my mom gave me the unibrow. I could tell just by the way she looked at me that I was in trouble. Rats. Noodle, your teacher emailed me and told me that today at school you had a really rough day. But it's not my fault. I didn't get my homework done because the game went late and you made me go to bed. My teacher wouldn't let me go out to resource, and my legs needed to jump. Marigold got in my airspace, and her head hit my arm. I couldn't do my report on the duck-billed platypus because the media specialist wouldn't let me check out the book I needed because you forgot to remind me to put my overdue book in my backpack this morning. Ross Gray tripped me and laughed when I fell down, and that made my hands mad. Georgie talked to me first. The pencil sharpener needed to be empty. My mouth is addicted to talking. And it doesn't say in the school handbook that I can't stick my tongue out at people. Besides, I had to. TJ was staring at me, and he did it to me first. Things just aren't the way they should be. I feel like everybody's always picking on me. I get blamed, and it's not my fault. Seems like I'm the only one that ever gets caught. Noodle, I'm not talking about whose fault it is, Mom said. I'm talking about whose responsibility it is. Huh? You are responsible for the things that you do, for your choices at home and your choices at school. Blaming others is a reason, but it is not an excuse. If you keep playing this game, you will lose. You are in charge of letting me know when you have homework. You are in charge of returning your library books. And you are in charge of your legs, your arms, your hands, your voice, and your tongue. Today you made a few mistakes and it caused your day to be rough. But don't blame others for your poor choices because that will make your life tough. Instead, focus on what needs to be done. Whenever you make a mistake, own up and become more responsible for the choices that you've made. Noodle, everyone makes mistakes, and mistakes can be a good thing because every time you make one, it gives you a chance to learn something, Mom said. If you blame other people for your mistakes, you give away your chances to learn. Don't make an excuse when you do something wrong. Just say, yep, I did that. Now what can I do to improve my situation? Noodle, I love you with all my heart, and I wish I could solve all of your problems for you, but I can't. My job is to teach you to become your own problem solver. The next time you make a mistake, on the inside think, yep, that was me. It's going to be hard, but everyone says the good stuff in life is not free. If you are brave enough to own your mistakes, imagine how great you'll become. You'll learn a lot, you'll make better choices, and your life will be so much more fun. Don't be a blamer. You're better than that. Use your mistakes to help you grow. Get rid of the phrase, but it's not my fault, and show the world how much you know. Maybe my mom was right. Maybe I was blaming others for my mistakes. Yep, I guess I did make a few wrong choices today. As soon as I got to school the next day, I went to the library, turned in my overdue book, and checked out the book I needed for my report on the duck-billed platypus. When I walked into my classroom, my teacher put her arm around me and whispered, Noodle, yesterday you had a really rough day, and today is a brand new day. I can't wait to see what you can do with your today. Then she said, Class, it's time for me to collect the rough drafts of your science papers. When she got to my desk, I said, I don't have mine done, but but it's, but it's gonna be done by tomorrow morning. I just checked out the book that I needed. Way to go, Noodle! You did it! You took responsibility for your actions, and I am so proud of how brave you are. As a reward, I'm going to give you an extra day to get your rough draft done. When you hand it in tomorrow, it won't be counted as late. But my brother has another basketball game tonight, and I guess I won't be going. Rats. So, our character in the book made lots of irresponsible or not responsible choices. He was not listening. He didn't complete his homework. He did not respect other people's spaces. He hit other friends, and he made lots of excuses for why things were not his fault and why he couldn't control the way that he was behaving. But that's not really true, is it? Because we have control over all of the choices that we make, right? We can choose to do what we are supposed to do. We can choose to do the right things. We can choose to be kind to other people. We can choose to control our emotions and our behaviors. We make all these choices. And although it may seem like it's not our fault because someone else is influencing the choices, but we decide how we are going to respond to situations. No one else can control how we decide to respond. So that's what the character's mom was explaining to him, is that you are responsible for how you behave regardless of whose fault it is. But treating other people with kindness and respect is acting responsibly. It is very important to follow through on your responsibilities. When you forget or don't feel like doing something, it can have a really big impact on others. So we at Boys and Girls Club have been seeing all of the kind things that you guys have been doing and all of the kindness change that you guys have been making. And we want you to keep up the good work. Remember, there's going to be one lucky winner of the kindness challenge. And the more kind things you do, the better chance you have at winning the prize. Let us know what kind things you have been doing with hashtag BGC Como Kindness Challenge. And make sure you comment down below with your name and school site so that we can know who you are. I can't wait to talk to you guys again next Thursday. Bye!